You cannot guarantee success no matter what you do. There are many people who push themselves, work hard, and do everything right and still end up not becoming successful. Does that scare you? If so, you're honestly really not likely to achieve your goals because you have a huge mindset problem. Let me explain what I mean. There's an idea deeply rooted within our society, kind of the American dream idea, that if we work hard enough, if we have just enough discipline, and if we're able to control our emotions, we'll be able to become wildly successful just through sheer pure hard work. This idea is incredibly popular nowadays, especially within the self-help community. The self-help community thrives on finding people who are able to discipline themselves out of hardships into incredibly well-off financial positions. These are people who really emphasize entrepreneurship, pushing themselves, working out, eating healthy, all this kind of stuff. The self-help industry is based on this idea that if you do XYZ things, if you just follow this certain formula, you'll be guaranteed to achieve success no matter what. And that formula often revolves around discipline, eating healthy, exercise, all these good things, right? The formula basically states that if you do all of this stuff, if you're able to just push yourself through it, if you're able to use willpower, you'll eventually become successful beyond your dreams. Now, why is this problematic and why is this toxic? One of the main problems with this idea of the American dream, or if you just push yourself hard enough, or if you have enough willpower, you're able to be successful, is that you focus way too much on the end result. The mindset that it creates is that the end result is the most important thing and not the process of getting there. Now, why should you focus on the process? Why care about the process? Who cares if you have to kind of suffer through and slave and, have lots of discipline and do stuff you don't really like to do for a couple of years if it means you'll be wildly successful, right? Well, the thing is, if you're going to be doing this thing in your day-to-day life, for years and years on end, you might as well enjoy it. What's the point of achieving something if you lose several years of your life to actually achieve it? But let's say that is worth it for you, right? Let's say that you're okay with losing maybe 4 or 5 years of your life to achieve extreme success. Well, the second part of this might be a little bit more relevant to you. The thing is that most people are okay with actually sacrificing a few years of their life to achieve a ridiculous amount of success. But that's not where the problem comes in. The problem is that if you're focused on the end result rather than the process, you won't achieve the success in the first place. If you look at a lot of successful people, right, they're able to do insane things, insane feats of discipline. They're able to work 10, 12-hour days, 14-hour days, push themselves constantly, be relentless and so passionate and motivated. And it's really hard to do that. And the self-help industry, the American dream, will kind of push and posit that they just have discipline. They're just able to suffer through, and they're just able to do stuff because they're really good at suppressing their emotions and controlling themselves. But the thing is, those people are human at the end of the day. That's not actually what makes them become successful. The thing that makes them become successful is the fact that they love doing what they're doing. For them, it no longer becomes work. If you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they love doing what they do. The reason that they're able to get so far ahead and push themselves so much is because they're able to do stuff that they absolutely love doing. It's something that's fun for them. It's something that relaxes them and helps them unwind. If you look at a lot of people, like a good example is the rapper Logic. When he was making it up, his success story is crazy. He had to work insane hours in order to actually make it. He barely was able to get any sleep for several years. It was extremely hard for him to do it. But the thing is, the guy loves music. If you look at Eminem too, if you look at any interview of him talking about music, he loves it more than anything else. If you look at any successful CEO who has a long-running career, they absolutely love doing the thing. And if you love doing the thing, if you love the process, then you are much more likely to be able to actually get the end result, because it's hard to be able to gruel out all those hours to be able to do something if you absolutely hate doing it. Not only are you sucking away at your life's quality for something that might not even happen, but it's also way harder to push yourself if you don't love doing something. We're humans, we're people of emotions. If you think you're rational and logical, you're not. You're really stupid. You're human. Everything we do is based on emotion, right? Without emotions, we can't actually get anything done. Emotions are what push us to act. So take advantage of that. Find something you love and enjoy doing day to day. Find something where you love the grind. And that is where success comes from. Because once successful people become successful, do they stop working? Do they start working less? No, oftentimes they work even more. Musicians will start pumping out more and more albums that are more and more creative, that require more work, because now they have the freedom to do so. They actually start working more, not less. People who are successful entrepreneurs, do they ever have one successful business? No, they usually have several. They have 2 or 3 businesses that they started because they love doing business. They love that stuff, man. They love starting a business. That's why they're successful. It's not because they're just pushing themselves or that they have discipline. That is part of the equation, but it's a much smaller part than the fact that they actually love what they're doing more than anything. A good question to kind of ask yourself is, if you were a millionaire in whatever field it is that you're pursuing, would you continue doing that field? If you had all the money that you needed and you no longer needed to work a day in your life, you were set, right? You had all the money you could ever need. Would you still continue doing the thing that you're currently doing? And if the answer is no, then this is not something you're ever going to be able to push yourself in. Because again, if you think about all the successful people in the world, if you ask them, like, if you were a millionaire, would you still do this thing? They would say yes, undoubtedly. Musicians, writers, artists, actors, all of them love doing what they do. And the more successful they are, typically the more that they love it, right? While there are exceptions to this rule, this is a big thing you need to keep in mind. Focus on finding a process, that you love doing. Focus on finding a day-to-day thing that you love doing, something that you wake up every day and you're excited to do. That is something that's actually going to drive you towards success, not doing something that you hate day in and day out and then hoping that eventually it will get you to success. If you're always waiting on that success, your day-to-day life's going to be miserable. And if you never achieve the success, then you're going to be extremely disappointed and you're going to feel like you wasted years of your life. The other big problem is that this mindset of like, if you just have enough discipline, if you just have enough willpower, you'll be able to get to any level of success you want. It makes people unnecessarily feel like a failure, because the thing is that a lot of people, they hear this stuff and they're like, okay, I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to grind, I'm going to get stuff done. And then they can't. And the reason that they can't is rarely because they're lazy people or that they're unmotivated people or anything like that. A lot of it just has to do with the fact that the goals that they're chasing are not really worthwhile goals in the first place. Because of everything they hear about the American dream, how they hear about the end result, about becoming a millionaire, about having all the success in the world, they become hyper fixated on that and then are unable to actually achieve the success that they want to, because again, they forget the fact that the process is what matters. It's not discipline, it's not willpower, it's just loving what you do in your day-to-day life, or having a compelling reason to do it that makes it enjoyable. If you try and do something that you hate day in and day out just because you think it'll make you successful, you're not a failure. You're doing something that you hate. Of course, you're not going to want to do it every single day. You need to find things to do that you love or that are worth doing or that you have a good reason for doing or that excite you every single day. That is what matters a lot more than when it comes to pursuing goals that you don't really feel like doing, but you feel like the end result of them will be really exciting. Like starting a business because you think you'll be a millionaire. Don't start a business to become a millionaire. Start a business because you love being an entrepreneur. If you want to go into a high-paying job, don't just go into it for the high money. Go into it because you love the field and you would still do it even if it was half the pay. So what should you do instead? Focus kind of on building a life that has goals that are more based around day-to-day kind of habits and things that you'll have to do. Focus on finding goals that just give you an excuse to follow a day-to-day process that you will enjoy. That's kind of a good way to think about it. So what do I mean by this? Think about what you wish you would be doing every single day. Think about kind of what activities you would love to do, what stuff you would love to see in your life, all of that kind of stuff, and then use that to kind of direct what goals you set, right? So for example, for me, I wanted to do stuff in psychology and I wanted to do stuff in music and content creation, right? These are three big things that I really love. So what did I decide to do? I actually decided to get a degree in computer science. What computer science allows me to do is it allows me a lot of financial freedom and flexibility, because most computer science jobs are remote, they pay really well, and because of those two factors, you are able to get a lot more hours into your day where you can focus on side activities and side hustles. And so what I started doing is using all the extra free time that I had with my computer science job, which I still enjoyed and I thought was cool, because it gave me a lot of that flexibility. I was able to expand and do stuff like content creation. I was able to make music more often. I started doing a lot of mental health stuff outside, outside of class and outside of work. And what this enabled me to do is have a strong resume that prepared me to apply for grad school for a counseling master's, even though I have a data science degree. So basically, again, I didn't really focus on the end result. I didn't focus on like, do I want to make a lot of money? Do I want to do this? No. What I basically did was I just sat down and was like, okay, what do I want my day-to-day life to look like? And I thought that if I have a good paying job and if I'm able to make content every single day and do some stuff in psychology, I'll be extremely excited. So I built my day-to-day life kind of around that. Before I tried to start a business because I was like, okay, I want to start a business because I think it'll make me a lot of money. And it was absolutely dreadful. It was really painful and I had to dredge through it every single day. But the second that I kind of switched my focus to be more on something that I wanted to do, I felt a lot happier, right? I was able to get a good job that I liked doing every single day, and it left me with lots of free time to do all the other stuff I wanted to do and build out other income streams while I was doing it. And so it made me a lot happier, made me feel a lot healthier, and I was surprised at how much more I was able to push myself on a consistent day-to-day basis. So I hope that this video has helped. I'm gonna just kind of give a quick recap. One of the biggest problems with a lot of people is that they try to focus too much on the end result when it comes to achieving goals and when it comes to achieving success, right? One of the biggest things that we're taught throughout our childhoods in American society is that if we just work hard, if we just push ourselves, if we have insane levels of discipline, we'll be able to achieve any goal that we want and we'll be able to achieve wild success. But the problem with this mindset is that we focus way too much on the end result and not on the day-to-day, and overcount the impact that discipline and hard work has on achieving success. The reality is that hard work and all this stuff is important, but a lot of the wild success that people see actually comes down to the fact that they love what they're doing in their day-to-day life and they enjoy the process of getting to their goal more than the goal itself. Hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching and take care.